For most of gaming history, AMD was the underdog, the smaller competitor to Intel in CPUs and to NVIDIA in GPUs. While they were respected, they were barely seen as the company that would shape the entire future of computers nor gaming. And yet today, AMD's technology sits at the heart of almost every modern console: the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, the Series X and S, as well as the Steam Deck, and even many modern budget gaming PCs. They all run on AMD.
How did AMD achieve this? It didn't have huge hype and whatnot behind it like we see with the newest NVIDIA GPU or the newest console release, even though said consoles run on AMD's chipset. In the early 2000s, AMD wasn't a gaming powerhouse. They were known for creating affordable CPUs that offered solid performance, but Intel still dominated the high-end market. In graphics, ATI, before AMD acquired them, was in a fierce battle with NVIDIA, trading blows but never gaining long-term dominance, though they did have some success with console graphic chips like the GameCube's Flipper and the XP360's Xenos.
But when AMD bought ATI in 2006, people thought they were insane. The deal was expensive, valued at $5.6 billion. Very risky, but this acquisition would be the most important bet the company ever made. Now, by owning both a decent CPU and a strong GPU technology and staff, AMD could do something Intel and NVIDIA has yet to do: combine the two technologies. Not just physically, but architecturally. It wasn't just about putting a GPU on a CPU chip, rather designing systems that were unified, CPU and GPU working in cohesion, sharing memory.
Post-merge with ATI, they mainly released Radeon HD GPUs, until 2013, when Sony and Microsoft both unveiled their next-generation consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One. Both had something surprising in common. Each one used AMD's Custom Accelerated Processing Unit, APU for short. This was unpredictable. Two rival companies selected the same hardware vendor for their competing platforms. Both were powered by AMD's Jaguar CPU and Radeon GPU fused into a single chip. But how come? How did these two rival companies pick the same chipset? The answer was simple. AMD could do everything and do it cost-effectively. They offered CPU and GPU in one package, lower heat output, low manufacturing cost, easier development environment for game studios, and custom architecture. AMD's unified design made development far more efficient. Studios no longer had to learn wildly different architectures between consoles, like what happened with the PS3 and its nightmarish architecture. And this changed the industry.
Developers could build games with a shared foundation, and optimization became easier, which resulted in cross-platform releases becoming smoother and more consistent than ever before. Again, unlike what was on the PS3 when third-party games were barely running properly. AMD was evolving and climbing up the hardware ladder. For the PS5 and XB Series S/X, their companies chose AMD once again. This time, the hardware was based on AMD's Zen 2 CPU architecture and RDNA 2 graphics technology. It went from an option to the default for home consoles. Hell, even Valve's upcoming Steam machine runs on AMD's Zen 4 and RDNA 3 GPU. Just when you think they'd stop there, they rivaled both Intel and NVIDIA and garnered a large following in recent years thanks to their recent series of CPUs known under the name of Ryzen. Ryzen G models came with APUs, processors with integrated Radeon graphics. Lately, they've been the go-to choice for players who couldn't afford a dedicated GPU but still want to play games. CPUs like Ryzen 3 3200G and later the Ryzen 5 with its 3000 and 5000 series offered surprisingly strong performance in many esports titles, older games, and it could even run some of the heavy and demanding games with varying performance, while being relatively cheap.
While they still had high-end CPUs with stronger integrated graphics, they weren't trying to create something that could compete in strength, but something that would compete in sales. By creating something that could run games and still be cheap, anyone can hop on the PC gaming wave without investing thousands of dollars, especially if they're aiming to play something basic. Today, when you look at the gaming industry, from home consoles to budget PCs, AMD isn't the underdog anymore. They're the go-to company due to being consumer-friendly. They didn't dominate gaming through flashy marketing or by beating competitors at the highest end, but rather won through flexibility and through a risk that paid off later on. This is how AMD silently became a ruler of modern gaming, from testing with 2 consoles to now ruling the market.